Welcome back to the new episode of Podcasts with Parshva. And today with me, I have someone really, really big. I'll have to read it because he's that big. So we have Muddassir Hussain today. Hello, Muddassir. Can you please wave for our viewers?
Hey, nice to join you today, man.
Yeah, I hope you're doing fine. And just to let the viewers know who Muddassir is, he lives in Reading, England, for starters, and Muddassir works for ATP Media, focusing on the content and live streaming on the mobile app Tennis TV, and is freelancing as a columnist for Infinite Madrid. He worked for Fox Sports Asia in Singapore for a month and worked at Wimbledon for 2 years, covered the 2014 Commonwealth Games for Awaz FM, a radio station in Glasgow, focusing on Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Indian, and Bangladeshi athletes. He also covered the 2013-2014 UEFA Champions League group stage match between Real Madrid and Juventus, and also interviewed Cristiano Ronaldo post-game in the mixed zone. So that's a big introduction in itself. Muddassir, it's a pleasure to have you. I hope you're doing well.
It's a pleasure to be here, Parshva. Apologies if I get your name wrong.
No, that's okay. So, Muddassir, before we begin, I'll just like to put the topics on hand. So, we are going to discuss about La Liga, not exactly the entire La Liga, but about Real Madrid and Barcelona from the surface. There has been a lot of VAR controversy recently, and that has kind of provoked a social media war between Real Madrid and Barcelona. So, we are going to shed light on that. We'll talk about Real Madrid's run of 7 consecutive wins and how Zidane has transformed a team that seemed to lack motivation at the beginning of the season, and now it's a completely different unit. And also about Marco Asensio's return from injury and what sort of dynamism does it bring to the attack, and finally about Vinicius and Rodrigo, who have been the star prospects in the making and seem to have a bright future at the Bernabeu. So let's begin without further ado. So Muddassir, as you know, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they have just 4 games to play, and they have a 4 point gap between them. Barcelona, of course, trailing Real Madrid at the second spot. So, is it too early to say that Real Madrid are La Liga champions because they just need 8 points to win the title?
Yeah, I think it is a bit premature to say we're champions because, I mean, anything's possible, isn't it? Since the lockdown, it's all about. I keep saying it's all about rhythm, team sort of venues and stadiums don't matter. Previous head-to-heads don't matter. It's all about how the team is, who's like the players are in sync or are they not in sync, the rhythm, and the options that the manager has. Zidane has a lot of options, which he's so blessed with. But I mean, this match against Deportivo Alaves on Friday, it's going to be difficult because we're without Ramos, number one, and we're without Carvajal, 2 players who have been so crucial to our return from the lockdown. Luckily, we've got Varane back, and Militao put in probably his best performance in a Madrid shirt against Bilbao. I was stunned at his performance. It will give Zidane a lot of confidence because obviously we're missing Ramos for that.
Exactly.
And Varane and Militao there, seeing a Militao being able to play like this, it's filled me with a lot of confidence. And I'm sure Zidane will like it. I expect us to win, but I don't think at any point Madrid are going to blow away Alaves or any of the final 4 opponents, to be honest. I think but yeah, I think it's too soon to say we're champions. We're taking it a game at a time. Barcelona now look like they're back into a rhythm, or if that was just some weird performance against Villarreal, I don't know what to expect. I thought Villarreal would certainly take points off them, but it looked like Barcelona just stunned Villarreal with the setup. Messi playing as a 10, Griezmann and Suarez actually linking together and playing well together for once. It surprised everyone, and I guess Villarreal was stunned as well. But can they pick that up and continue that in their final 4 games, which they should win? I don't know. You gotta. At the end of the day, if you're going to be champions, you have to win your 4 games, right? So if Real Madrid are going to deserve to be champions, we have to win our 4 games.
So the final 4 games are going to be absolutely crucial. I mean, they could afford to lose 1 game because they would still win. If they win the other 3 games, they would capture 9 points, and that would mathematically end the title, end the league, and Real Madrid would be champions. But a lot of controversy has sparked in recent weeks, in recent games, that circling around Real Madrid, that VAR has been biased, and they are helping Real Madrid to the title. And even as it's gone too far that Jose Maria Bartomeu has spoken in public about it. So, what are your thoughts about that? Is VAR being biased towards Real Madrid?
The thing is, both Barcelona and Real Madrid fans need to acknowledge that these two are the 2 most powerful sides in Spain, both financially and historically, and also probably the 2 most powerful sides in Europe. So the VAR controversies, yeah, sure, Madrid get a lot of favourable decisions and always have done by referees, but so do Barcelona. I mean, so many Champions League games, so many league games, specifically against Real Madrid in Clásicos, have been decided by shocking and shambolic refereeing decisions. It's rich coming from Real Madrid and Barcelona fans battling on social media about who gets favoured more. When we both get favoured, the group of fans who should be complaining are the fans who aren't Real Madrid or Barcelona fans, because their team get punished more. Because these guys, bless them, they want to get close as possible to Real Madrid and Barcelona in the title race, but they're somehow always suffering because of these decisions that go the top two's way. So, to be honest with you, it's a habit Barcelona fans to complain and moan. Ramos put it perfectly when he said, look at your own, like I'll paraphrase, said, look at your own team's performances, look at your own players, rather than the refereeing scandals, I guess. They're 4 points behind us because they're 4 points worse than us. And we beat them in a classic. Right. And we beat them in a Clásico, so we deserve to be up there on merit, not because of refereeing decisions.
Yeah, that's what Zidane has stated time and again this season, and it's unique to know. It's a unique perspective that the teams that are suffering the most are not Barcelona or Real Madrid. It's the other teams, the other 18 teams in the league. But if you saw the game against Valencia, which I'm sure you must have, being a Madridista, Marco Asensio returned to the pitch, and within 31 seconds of his return, he scored a goal. And he started against Bilbao. That was his first start. He made a few substitute appearances prior to that game, but the Bilbao game was his first start in 14 months. So how does it feel to have Marco Asensio, the Prince of Bernabeu, back in the lineup?
I'm a big fan of Marco. When we signed him from Mallorca, I loved it, because obviously if we didn't, Barcelona would have signed him, and they had laid the foundations. They were very close to signing him, I believe, and then Nadal and Florentino happened, and then we got him. But I mean, while I'm happy that Marco Asensio is back, and it couldn't have gone better. It was a fairy tale return. That wonderful left foot, which Zidane says is the best left foot since Messi's. When someone like Zidane says that, there's obviously something very special about that left foot. Now it's about making up for lost time, because he's lost 2 seasons in a Madrid shirt. He's now 24. We were expecting him to sort of take over the reins of the team. But is he anywhere near that? I don't think so at the moment. Zidane is definitely the main person who can take him to that level that he promised. And I think when Zidane returned, instead of Mourinho, who was scarily close to returning,
Yes.
I think Asensio would have been very happy and probably would have increased the tempo of his training so he can return for Zidane quicker. Because look, Zidane gave him his opportunities in those cup finals where he scored banger after banger. The thing with Asensio is he going to accept being a squad player, which he undoubtedly will become eventually, because the club's ambitions are Hazard to be at his peak, then Vinicius to take over, or Rodrigo, and then on the right is obviously Kylian Mbappe. So where does Asensio play a major role? I don't know. I feel like the ship may have sailed or may be sailing away, and he's got next season to really show the club that, look, I'm here to stay, and I want to stay, and I want to prove everyone wrong. And next season is it. It's next season. I wrote an article, one of my columns on Infinite Madrid. Do check it out, about Asensio's redemption season. He's going to be the first choice right winger. Can he add 15 to 20 goals? I personally doubt it. I don't think he's that player, and that's even more worrying for Zidane, because he hasn't got a winger who can score goals. Like, Hazard isn't a winger. He isn't a player who's hungry for goals. If he's in front of goal, he'll cut it back. He'll rather pass than score. Asensio hasn't got that in him. I don't think he's got 10-15 goals in him. And I don't know, I'm worried for Asensio, but I'm happy to have him back. He obviously adds a lot, and the team love him. Just by that celebration against Valencia, I mean, arms lofted, and he just waited for his teammates to come around and said, look, I'm back, and here it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, that was a special moment for me as well. And if he can add those 15 to 20 goals that you are saying about him, I think that would eliminate 50% chances of signing Kylian Mbappe, because we already have that
Do you
type
think
of
so?
we would already have. I guess. I mean, we wanted to pursue Neymar's signing, but eventually we didn't. And Kylian Mbappe, I mean, if he does not sign a contract extension, I mean, he's it's in his destiny to be at Real Madrid. He's like the next Cristiano Ronaldo level player that would arrive at the Bernabeu.
I personally think Real Madrid will suffer a lot if they don't sign Kylian Mbappe. He's the glue that sticks it all together, man. Like, you can sign whoever you want. You can sign every 17-year-old you can. If you don't sign Mbappe, goals are the currency of football. And I mean, Madrid can have Maldini, Ramos, Nesta, Beckenbauer in defence, but as long as they keep on relying on these 1-0 wins, they're not going to win. You can't expect Zidane to get that out of the players for seasons and seasons. It's just not right. Zidane's come back with a plan. He's come back with the club making him promises to deliver certain players, Kylian Mbappe. If they don't deliver it, what is Zidane supposed to do? Like, I'd walk out if I was Zidane.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting it out. He's just saying, yeah, Zizou, I'll just play my contract out here in Paris. Doesn't matter if we win Champions League or not. We'll try to. We are winning league when I'm scoring goals left, right, and center, and my market value will only increase. But we'll wait it out. You don't need to splash 300 million euros on me right now. So that's why maybe he's flirting with Real Madrid, and at the same time he's staying in Paris. So let's see what happens next. And the last thing that I would like to talk about is, what were you saying?
Sorry, I mean, next summer is the crucial one. It's either he stays at PSG and extends, or leaves, because he's not going to leave in 2022. Firstly, Madrid can't wait that long, to be honest. And secondly, the Sheikh is not going to give him away for free, because he's not dumb. So it's either next summer where Madrid are going to have to pay 200 million plus to get him, which is a bargain. Literally,
200 million plus is a bargain. Oh my God.
it's an absolute bargain. For Kylian Mbappe, it's a bargain.
Wow. How are you so
And
sure that he's going to prosper in Real Madrid?
it's just look at him, man. He's not a one league player. You can see what he's done in the Champions League already, in the World Cup. He's blown away. He's blown away teams in the World Cup. This is not normal. It's not normal behavior for a 19, 20-year-old to do that in a World Cup. I mean, you can see
Right.
Mbappe at a certain point in that quarterfinal with Messi on the pitch. He said, "Look, I'm going to take this game by the scruff of its neck, and I'm going to win it." And that penalty he won when he ran from deep inside his own half, straight through Argentina, and then winning it. It's not normal, man. It's not normal. He's the only one who can fill that hole, and Zidane knows it.
So, on a concluding note to this video, what are your predictions for next season, 2020-21? What is Zidane going to do, and which players do you think are going to come in? I mean, they have frozen the transfer market for the summer, but what do you think is going to happen next season?
Yeah, I've written my column yesterday that I think Real Madrid are bluffing a bit in terms of we're not going to spend. I think they're obviously going to sell, and they've already started that with Hakimi, with Oscar Rodriguez could be going as well.
Borja
Mayoral better leave. He should leave. James obviously will definitely go as well. I doubt he makes the bench for the last 4 games with what Marca published this morning. Apparently he's been asked to be left out, which is terrible professionalism. I think they'll sell. I think they'll sell well. They made a lot of mistakes last summer with selling, because I believe, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, transfer windows shut October, first week of October.
Yes.
So, I mean, August, second, third week of August, we play City. If we get knocked out, the season over. Then you have a month to sell.
Yeah.
And then you buy a few players. Like I said like there's 22 certainties from this squad going into next summer. If Nacho stays, that's 22, which means we're 3 players short of a 25-man squad, which is what typically coaches like heading into a season. I can see us signing 2 or 3 players. One of them, my heart says it'll be Camavinga, I hope. Yeah. But if they don't, they badly need a defensive midfielder, man. I can't see Casemiro staying injury-free next season as well. We're lucky that he hasn't had a major injury this season. And Fede Valverde's played there a few times in Casemiro's absence, but it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. It hasn't been convincing. It's just not his game. So they need to sign someone, either Marc Roca or Camavinga. One of them has to sign. But then they have the sort of debate where Camavinga is sort of a Mbappe level talent. If you miss him, if you miss out on him and PSG get him, you're in another sticky situation where you're going to have to pay about 200 million for him if you want to get him in the future. Do you pay 60, 70 million now for Camavinga, leave him on loan, but also sign a replacement for Casemiro, like a short-term solution?
That's right. I mean, let's see what happens next season. But once again, it was great talking to you, Muddassir, and this was a very insightful episode. And I'll try to see you next time, and I'll try to get you back once the season ends. And just thanks a lot for joining me, and thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment it down in the comment section below. And thank you once again, Muddassir.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. And yeah, just do shout. Please do shout if you want me to return. I'd be happy to come back and talk more. Apologies if I've overrun. I sort of have a habit of waffling on about Real Madrid. So yeah, apologies. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome, Muddassir. Thank you very much, everyone.